Southern Macedonia, 157 BC. The alliance between the Seleucid Empire and Pontus in 158 was an unexpected one, but more so was the 5,000-man forward invasion army that showed up at Macedon's doorstep. Having captured a Pontic scout, Macedon discovered the alliance's desires to aggressively expand their territories west, starting in Macedonia, heading north to Dacia, then on to Germania. Quickly sending word, Macedon was able to quickly muster a much larger army of 9,000 men, consisting of Macedon itself, Dacia, and the only Germanic tribe to answer the call, the Cimbri. Knowing this was just a forward invasion army, Macedon and its allies had to move quickly to destroy the men before reinforcements could change the tide of the upcoming war. Hello everybody, this is Havoc, and welcome to an absolutely epic, what I would guess would be called a survival battle today. Oh man, this is going to be one absolutely crazy battle. I'm very excited to be able to commentate on it though. And so yeah, let's get right on to it. I am playing with a Jackie Fish. I am playing as the Seleucids. He is playing as Pontus. Over here we have three very formidable foes. We have Petilius, who is actually one of the devs. I think he's actually playing as Dacia, which would be right here in the middle. Maybe not. Maybe he's playing as the Cimbri. Yes, that is right. He is playing as the Cimbri. We have two other players, one playing as Macedon, and obviously one playing as Dacia, as the intro suggested. So this is a really not in our favor battle. Looks like we got, what, almost 6,000 troops. They have close to 9,200. This is going to be just absolutely ridiculous. Let's kind of break down our unit compositions before things get too crazy, and then we'll jump right into the battle. So holding my main line, I have 2 units of Civil Shield Phalanx troops. I love Phalanx troops. I think they're one of the more better looking troops in the entire game. I mean, just being completely honest, I think Phalanx just really shine in the Ancient Empires mod, and I love having them in my army. Behind them, we have 3 units of mercenary Cretan archers. They will hopefully be able to do some good damage. They do a lot of damage. Let's see, what is that? Missile, yeah, ranged offense of 6. Very heavy bowmen. I would call them heavy bowmen. They're light bowmen in here, but they do a lot of damage. Behind them, I also have 2 units of Royal Galatian Guard. These guys are very... I think they're classified as heavy melee, but they are pretty close to very heavy melee. These guys will not rout very easily, one single bit, and I love having those troops as well. I've got 2 of those, and that first column behind is my Agema General. Say hi. And then over here on my right flank, I have 3 units of Hippaspis of the Agema. These guys are one of the most elite Seleucid units in the game currently, and you will see them do very well in this battle for sure, so be on the lookout for these guys. Horsemen, we have quite a few of those as well. We have a couple of militia horse archers. I thought I'd bring some horse archers along, see how well they do in battle, see if I can't pester the enemy. Not expecting the amount of horsemen on the opposite team, of course, and we'll get to that in just a little bit, but I do have some Cappadocian cav. Look at them, then their gorgeous majesty. They do look very good. Very excited to have those heavy shot cav. The Seleucids don't have a good melee cav unit, which will become very apparent on really the need for some melee cav here in a little bit, as you can tell. And then we have some cataphract cav. Typical very heavy shot cav. They do look really cool. Those masks are just epic. Give a lot of detail and stuff to them. We're gonna have to pause it. I was hoping not to, but that's all right. Over here, Jackie Fish leading as Pontus. Of course, he has 4 units of Chalybes Phalanx. I'm sure I butchered that. Of course I did. I always butcher stuff like that. These guys are tier 2 pike infantry. They actually are they're pretty decent. They do have a high morale, which is going to be to Jackie Fish's benefit. Behind him, he has 3 units of Pontic Royal Guard. These are essentially the same as our Galatian Guard. They are very strong, heavy spear units. Yeah, look at that. Melee defense of 18, morale of 18. These guys are going to be pretty epic. Behind him, he has some mercenary Sarmatian cataphracts as the general. Looking not quite as cool as my Seleucids, but that's okay. It's hard to beat my Seleucid cav. And he, of course, also has some Cappadocian cavalry. He has a lot of cavalry, a lot of them. And they actually, I don't think Pontus They may not have melee cav, I'm not quite sure on that, but that would be a reason why he has so many guys. Oh, never mind. I stand corrected. He has Mercenary Galatian Riders. Now, Mercenary Galatian Riders, I believe, are also some of the best cav in the game. You can quote me on that. I don't care. I've used them before, and they really have never disappointed. They are tier 3 heavy melee cav. So, say what you will. I think they're really good units. Over here on his left flank, though, he has some Pontic Reformed Spearmen. The guy's like, holy shit, dude. Do you see how many people are here? And he's like, yeah, we're screwed. It's alright. Pontic Reformed Spearmen. And then, I guess he has quite a few units of those. Good lord. He has, what, 6 units total? Yep, 6 units of Pontic Reformed Spearmen. And that will compose our army of 5,840 men. As you can see, I'm pushing a little bit over there. Now, this army is absolutely ridiculous. We have, what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 16 units of cavalry to our 2... What is that? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so it's not too far off, but still, they have a lot of units, not to mention that Cimbri Germanic Heavy Horse and Dacian Heavy Horse, they're going to beat Shock Cav every day in a battle. So the fact that I have no melee cav at all, and he only has 2, is really going to be in our disfavor. I didn't expect them to bring so much cav, or else I probably would have brought a little less and brought a few more phalanx, but that's alright. So Petilius, he is leading the Cimbri. So he has, what, 4 units of Germanic Heavy Horse. He has, these guys are going to be pretty, they look really good. I will say this, the Germanic factions and the Gaelic factions and Celtic factions all look absolutely gorgeous, I think. And so he's bringing in 4 units of those. Behind him, he has 2 units of Tincteri Cavalry. These are going to be shot cav. I just love those square hexagon whatever shields. They do look really, really cool. So he has 2 units of those to back him up. Over here, man, this bunch of staggered just everywhere. One of the guys, I don't remember who he was, Macedon, he's, we'll get to him in a little bit, I guess, but it was just kind of funny, some things I noticed. He has, Petilius, regardless, it has some chatty infantry. They look really good as well. Very clean, surprisingly. You would think they wouldn't be so clean looking. That rounded rectangular shield looking very nice. So tier 2 spear infantry. He's got a few of those. He has some Germanic nobles from the late period. Let's see what else. He's probably got more Germanic nobles, more Germanic nobles, more Germanic nobles, and even more Germanic nobles. So very, very heavy on the melee side. Very, very heavy melee troops in general. And then behind them over here, he has some Germanic champions. Now, Germanic champions are, I would say, probably kind of like the fanatics of the Celtics. You know, not the Blood Brothers, I can't remember, just the fanatics in general. That's kind of what they are. They have a very poor armor rating, but a very high offense, defense, and morale rating. So they will be very good at fighting, very decent at charging, and really getting in the battle, trying to tear stuff up and rout them right off the bat. And then last but not least, he has his Germanic leader as his general. The next guy, playing as a Macedon over here. Let's see, are these his Macedon? Nope, those are Dacia. They're just all over the place. These guys didn't really space them up very well. Regardless, we'll try and see and just kind of get these guys going. Macedon is in the center column. He is going at some Macedonian Peltas Phalanx. These guys, tier 3 pike infantry, very, very good units. Very good units. And his generals in the game of Phalanx, bringing some Macedonian Peltax Phalanx. He brought a lot of them. That's what, a good 5 units, almost 4 units of Peltas Phalanx. Behind him, some mercenary Rhodian slingers. And then I actually forgot to mention that he has some Germanic bowmen. Those will also come into play in here in a little bit. And then behind him in the back, this guy's brought some Thracian military settlers, excuse me. The Falk swords, these guys are going to be pretty good. Again, kind of more along the lines of, they have a amazing charge rating, so they are meant to just charge into battle and tear things up as quickly as possible before it kind of catches up to them. So he has a few units of those, around about, what, 3? And then behind him, some Royal Peltas melee. Again, I mean, just kind of like, what the crap, why are they all in the back right here? I don't know if he just forgot them before the battle started or what. But last but not least, he does have some Agima pikemen. It could be that he's just keeping them back there just for kicks and giggles, just in case he needs them. In terms of horsemen, looks like he has a couple of Sacred Squadron. He has Thessalian cavalry from the early period. Very, very Greeky units, but still very, very good units in general. Is that him too? Yep. Here we have some more Thessalonian cavalry and some more Sacred Squadron. That might be it for his setup. It sure is. And then last but not least, I'm going up against Dacia. And Dacia is a very interesting faction, and I'm not going to diss the guy who played this, but he definitely does not take advantage of some opportunities that I'm gonna point out in the battle that probably would have ended this thing much sooner than it should, or than it did. But anyways, he has some Dacian spear walls. Dacia doesn't have a whole lot in the way of some super heavy melee units in terms of just good punching units, as well as good spear units. Now, spear walls, they are very good, but it is, in my kind of opinion, kind of in playing against them, Dacian spear wall is pretty easy to break. There's some pretty good ways to do it. So, I was very fortunate to go up against the Dacian spear wall, and he is bringing a lot of them. He's got, what, at least half a dozen units of Dacian spear wall, and then behind them we got 4 or 5 units of these Dacian nobles, heavy melee units, and then his general is a Dacian chieftain. Behind him, he has some Dacian slingers. I don't know what is up. I need to ask Petilius what is up with the pink officer. It just looks really, really weird. Now, these spear wall do look really good. I will tell you that. So I will give him props for using them. He doesn't really have a whole lot options overall. Look at this guy, like over here. Mercenary 3 off right. Why are you all the way over here? It doesn't make sense. But regardless, he does have some Dacian heavy horse over here. Dacian heavy horse will rip me up. As well these mercenary Sarmatian cataphracts. And then he has, of course, some over here. I swear to God he does. Over here. Good. Dacian heavy horse, mercenary Sarmatian cataphracts, mercenary Sarmatian cataphracts. So next time, anytime we do like a 3v2, definitely gonna limit the amount of horsemen because it just absolutely destroys us. Overall though, it was a fun battle. I mean, we knew we weren't gonna win from the get-go, and so we're just gonna go ahead and hit that play button. We'll see all of these guys advance on us, and we'll see what happens. So I decided to lead a little skirmish, see how they would react. I like to toy with my opponents a lot. It's just fun to just see what in the world they will do. But this front here is just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane to see so many horsemen. I mean, there's 6 horse units of horse right there. Not just any horse, heavy horse, Germanic heavy horse. It is just ridiculous. So, yeah, we're going to see how well this goes. One thing I wanted to point out, Germanic bowmen. Ranged offense, 190. That is pretty stinking far. For instance, his Scythian archers only have 160. My bowmen, they do only have 150. So these are essentially long bowmen. If you really want to think about it like that, these Germanic bowmen, if you ever want to play as the Cimbri or any Germanic faction, the Germanic bowmen will be able to wreck your troops before they can even get close. So Jackie Fish is having to counter those 4 units with his measly 2 units. Meanwhile, I'm over here trying to defend myself. And as you can tell, just skirmishing, just really trying to test out to see what's going on. Jackie Fish is preparing for to kind of counteract some of the guys that are over here. And as you can see, these guys are already routing. He's just shattered both of his Scythian archers. Already not looking very good. Not looking good at all. This is depressing is what it is to me. I mean, just look at all those horsemen. Look at all of them. That is a wall of horsemen. Jackie Fish realizes, hey, we're just going to have to come after these dudes. I can't sit here and get pelted. So we're going to move forward. As one, Seleucids moving over here, trying to counteract these potential cav over here. Launching, trying to see if we can't potentially snipe out the leader. Normally, I wouldn't be one to try and snipe a leader right off the bat, but considering how many troops that they have, I couldn't resist. It's just a little too easy. And over here, just an unreal mishmash, hodgepodge of crap. That's pretty much the only way that I can explain this, because there is so much going on in this set right here. We have so many units of horsemen engaged in battle. We have horsemen, we have spearmen and horsemen. We have horsemen and some skirmishers. We have just all sorts of crap. It is absolutely crazy, not to mention our lines are now clashing. Our phalanx units are finally getting into the battle. He's moving his phalanx up. It does look rather epic to see phalanx versus phalanx. I don't think anything much really goes on at first over on my end. Most of the action comes over on Jackie Fish's poor guy. I mean, we just got schmammered. We got completely torn apart. These heavy horse, these Germanic heavy horse, are just really solid units that just cause some issues. So in order to help out, of course, I only have shock cav, and routing takes place very quickly here whenever you're using shock cav. Especially you're trying to get into a melee battle with the shock cav and you try to pull out of that, it's definitely going to hurt you. But Jackie Fish needs help. I cannot just abandon my ally. Pontus has to survive. So in come our Cappadocian Cav. Charge, men! Very nice. So we have even more Cav. But we do try to get a little tricksy. I realize that I can try and squeeze through these guys, and I'm going to try my absolute best. Unfortunately, the units of those Germanic heavy horse were enough to tie me up, which is another unfortunate aspect. It just happened. I mean, it just happens. We are engaging, though, our Macedonian Peltas phalanx, and then Jackie Fish coming in to try and flank a little bit, see if we can't get a few units to rout right off the bat, give us just any kind of advantage that we can get. Using fire arrows, probably not good against my own troops, but regardless, we had to just give some sort of morale advantage. We needed to rout the enemy. I mean, look at this. Just look at this epic phalanx battle. We're going to hit slow motion on this trash, and then we're just going to pause nice and slow. I said pause, I said go nice and slow. Look at this. Huge, just massive phalanx wall. Looks like he's trying to push through just a little bit. Just getting close into the action. That dude's face is disgusting. I love it. I just really, these are the kinds of battles that I've always wanted to play. This is Rome. This is Rome 1 to me, but on such a much better graphic scale and just on such an epic scale. Phalanx on phalanx. This guy's jabbing at absolutely nothing. Good job, dude. Just practice that. Just keep working it, man. Just keep working it. I love it. A huge phalanx battle. Just look, I mean, that's a lot of phalanx men all in battle, all together as one, doing some good things. And as you can see, it looks like we've got some barbarians mixed in with those Macedonians. Let's take a look again over on the other side. Let's see just what has happened. Anything important, anything crucial? Oh yeah, that's right. I lost almost all of my cataphracts, which was fantastic. But what I do over here is we are now engaging. I am fully engaged in the battle. I can no longer help Jackie Fish. He is on his own for a little bit. What we do to sacrifice our troops just a wee bit, I put in my horse archers to counteract these mercenary Sarmatian cataphracts. I'm trying my best to counter whatever they have. Now here's an interesting setup. Our Royal Galatian Guard going up against these Dacian spear walls. Let's do a little bit of counter. Let's do here, right? Melee offense 15, melee defense 17, armor at 13, and morale, which dropped to 16 but is at 19, versus their Dacian spear wall. Their melee defense is really high, their melee offense is not. We are going to counteract so much of these Dacian spear walls, and if you're going to watch, they will kind of get slaughtered. It takes a little while, but it does happen. So we are over here. I've got troops coming in here. I was able to hit these dudes. I used my archers, my archer cav, to prevent these guys from hitting the back of my Royal Galatian Guard. And then I'm also engaging my Hypaspis of the Agema against his spear wall. It is just hard with these, I wouldn't call them basic spearmen, but basically, I mean, they're basic spearmen versus these Hypaspis of the Agema. They are just absolutely going to wreck them up. So I am able to hold my line. My line is held. Look how many units I am holding up. Now, reserves are obviously important in this game, but with this battle, there just was not the ability to use, or to not use, our units in terms of reserves, so we had to engage everyone. But I did forget, I was able to slip through here. This was something that was actually pretty hilarious. I was able to slip through. I took out one of Petilius's Germanic bowmen. I'm working after another one. I was able to rout 3 or 4 units before his allies, the Dacians, were able to realize what was going on. If he had just waited just another minute or two, this battle probably would have ended drastically different. But regardless, I guess I can hit start. We are going through several troops. We do get caught. He is sending his reinforcements. So many cavalry were not used in this battle because they didn't need to be used, because they were all taken up otherwise. So this battle is still going on. We're trying to hold that left flank. If that left flank fails, we are pretty screwed. We're holding these Dacian heavy horse for the time being, and we are grinding against these Dacian spear walls. The men are broken and running for their lives. Yep, we've lost our cataphracts over there. We are trying to just keep engaged over here. He is losing. Jackie Fish is losing his Cappadocian cav. His Pontic Reformed spearmen are losing the battle to fight, losing that will. He's moved his general out of the way. Kidding. He's moved them to hit these guys. I was able to work my way to get these Agema phalanx to be open. Wonderful, wonderful charge by Jackie Fish. Jackie Fish's communication is absolutely amazing. I do love the kind of communication. He's like, dude, set this up. I got this. We can do it. We can take them out. Look at that. Those Agema phalanx are falling almost like flies. Not quite as bad, but decently bad. My general's getting sniped, but that's okay. My Hypaspis of the Agema, even though they're surrounded, they're still fighting amazingly well. I was super surprised and super excited at how well my Hypaspis were doing, because they did very, very well, all things considered. Now, of course, there's no way I'm going to squeeze things through here. We're now hitting plus 30 frames per second in some of these areas, so that's really good. But here's the thing. Look at this. I mean, I know if you wanted a battle, if you wanted to do something really good, sure, this would work out fine. If you wanted really good cinematics, you wanted the battle to be drawn out. Man, we've got 2 units of cataphracts over here. Heavy horse and cataphracts. They could have plunged right into the back of my Royal Galatian Guard on both of those guys. Or, for hell's sake, just put them all over here and start rear charging me. I cannot counteract that. I have no units. Not to mention, Jackie Fish's entire left flank failed. Straight up just lost it. We lost a unit of our Civil Shield phalanx, so those Macedonian Peltas phalanx are now coming into the battle. This battle would have been over. There's 2.5 minutes left. It could have been over in a heartbeat had he taken advantage and moved all of his units and rear charged into me. But we still got 2.5 minutes left in this battle, so these guys are going to hold out quite well. They're shaken. They're tired. These guys are fine. They're confident. These Agema phalanx are just going to work it. I mean, that's all that can be done. I mean, that's all that's left. But what you don't know is these Royal Galatian Guard, they do not give up. They are almost to the point where they're unbreakable. I mean, I wouldn't say unbreakable in that sense, but they will fight to the last man. They're not just going to give up. So I was able to rout one of his units, turn right around, and take on these mercenary Thoriophori. As you can see, we're routing one of these Dacian nobles with our Royal Galatian Guard, and it's all sort of kind of working in our favor. I was able to use my war cry and rout these spear walls. That really opened up some opportunities for me for a split second, and I mean a split second. We almost kind of had it here, but Jackie Fish, he's just lost so many units. He's like, dude, I'm going all in. There's nothing else that I can do. His Pontic Royal Guard were really holding up well in this battle. They have 106 kills, which really isn't that bad, all things considered. But I mean, just look at this. This dude is surrounded, and these guys are completely surrounded. And they still don't rout. In fact, oh, I thought for a second there they were actually routing other units. But yeah, we're working it, man. We're working it really well. I was very surprised at how well they were doing. I'm bringing my general over here because I'm like, dude, he's got to use these guys eventually, right? Don't really think it happens. Petilius, he's like, dude, there's no reason for me to use my guys, so I'm just going to keep them in the back, just kind of keep them working it. But over here, this is where our last death throes happen. Charging into the men, hoping that we can repel as many as possible. That kicks his cav into gear just a little bit. Just a little bit. And finally, Petilius has had, or I guess Petilius, one of the other guys, Macedon, has had enough. He's like, dude, I got the advantage here. I'm sure he's communicating finally because Dacia brings it in. And, yep, it's about to all go down. There we go. Everyone mass routes. Oh, end of the battle. Dear Lord Almighty, decisive defeat. Overall, a very good battle. I really enjoyed it. Draco playing as Macedon, Johnny Cobra playing as Dacia. I just couldn't remember their names. But, I mean, Johnny Cobra really didn't lose a whole lot of troops. We routed a lot of his troops, and then he was able just to hold while the rest of the army, while Draco and Petilius were able to just sweep through on Jackie Fish's flank. I give many props to Jackie Fish. He held out super long, especially considering all of Petilius's cav. I mean, look at how much cav they brought to this battle. It was absolutely insane. Those Agema pikemen really held their ground very well, but we held our ground as well. I was able to take out some archers. Our silver shields did very well. Our Paspis did amazing, and the Royal Galatian Guard actually did pretty good as well. And then look at this, 133, 135 for the Pontic Royal Guard. 35, excuse me, but his Chalybis, however you say that, those phalanx units, they also held really well as well. So really not too bad of a defeat. I don't consider it that bad of a defeat, all things considered. When you're outnumbered by that much, it just there's nothing that you can do to really win in that situation. But I hope you enjoyed the replay. Thank you, Jackie Fish and Petilius and Draco and Johnny Cobra for joining in that quick battle that happened. And so yeah, Ancient Empires still do not have any information on the campaign. I will let you guys know. You will definitely know for sure when the campaign comes out, because you will just know. But I don't have any new information to send you guys. Just keep on playing those custom battles. Send me your replays, guys. I would love to cover Ancient Empires. I've kind of sort of become the face of the Ancient Empires mod, and I really need to dive back into them. So if you have Ancient Empires replays, send them to me. I'll go over them. I'll shout you out, do all that good stuff. So if you enjoy the battle, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. This is Havoc, and I'm out of here. Peace!